Hi guys! Alright, so we're going to continue. By the way, I found my brown marker. Oh, this is not the right one. I found the brown marker. It rolled under my bed because I'm in my room right now recording. So we just left off where Macbeth had stabbed King Duncan in his room, right, using the guards' two knives. And then he was so freaked out by what he did, he ran back to his room, still holding the bloody knives. Not smart. Not smart. Alright, so let's see what happens. Macbeth burst into the room where Lady Macbeth waited. "Why did you bring these daggers from the place?" she cried in panic. "They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood." "I'll go no more," Macbeth said. "Methought I heard a voice cry, 'Sleep no more, Macbeth does murder sleep.'" Macbeth was overcome by guilt. "Macbeth shall sleep no more," he wailed. So he's so freaked out, and he's thinking that he'll never be able to sleep again because he feels so guilty for what he did. His wife grimaced. "Give me the daggers," she hissed. Minutes later, Lady Macbeth returned, arms red to the elbows. "My hands are of your color, but I scorn to wear a heart so white," she said. She took her husband's bloody hands in hers. "A little water clears us of this deed," she said firmly. So she's saying, even though her hands are all red with blood, their heart is going to be white, which means pure, right? That they're going to make it clear that it was not them. They can wash their hands of the blood, right? And just pretend that everything's fine. Macbeth and his lady headed for their chamber. Daybreak came shortly after, along with a loud pounding on the castle doors. There stood Macduff, Thane of Fife. Okay, we have to draw Macduff now. Oh, and I didn't even say that they're married. Oh my goodness. How horrible. So, they're married. I didn't even leave room. Okay, there's a heart. And, oh, that's an ugly heart. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me turn around so I could draw this better. And I'll give them some rings. Okay, heart and rings. I don't even know what color I used. Brown, I guess. Okay, they are married. Okay. So now we have to draw Macduff. So, here is Macduff. He will be right here. Ew, that's a very skinny face. Oh, that's better. I'm kind of bored. Shall we give him... we gave them purple hair. Shall we give him... I'll just give him, like, curly hair or something. I didn't really give him enough room for his eyebrows. Oh well. Ooh, that is an ugly smile. Okay. And I'll give him a little mustache, maybe. A little mustache. Alright. This is Macduff. Okay, how do you spell Macduff? Let's look. You spell Macduff M-A-C, like Mac, M-A-C, like Macbeth, and then Duff, D-U-F-F. And who is Macduff? Macduff is Thane of Fife. So Thane of Fife. Alrighty, and let's see. Let's continue now. Alright, so there stood Macduff, Thane of Fife. He had come to call upon his king. Macbeth greeted him. Macduff asked to be directed to his lord. Macbeth pointed out the way, and the newly arrived Thane headed to the king's chamber. He soon returned. "Murder and treason!" Macduff shouted. "Ring the alarm bell!" Duncan's bloody body appalled all who saw it. Amidst the wailing and confusion, Macbeth and his wife put on a masterful show of grief. Then, in a feigned rage, Macbeth even killed the drunken, bloodied grooms and called his act revenge. Oof. So, and of course the guards are completely innocent, right? They didn't kill King Duncan. Macbeth killed King Duncan. Which, speaking of, we should kill King Duncan on our board. So, bye-bye, King Duncan. Where are you? Sorry, King Duncan. You had a short life on this board. All right. Oh man, we have to draw some more people now. Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, feared that their own lives were in danger too. Oh, do we have to draw them? Let's draw Malcolm. I don't think we need Donalbain. Okay, but let me explain a little bit about them first. So they feared for their own lives. They feared that their own lives were in danger too, right? Since their father was killed, they're like, oh my gosh, what if we get killed now? So they fled immediately. Malcolm to England and Donalbain to Ireland. Their departure drew suspicion. Had the princes paid the grooms to murder their own father? If not, why had neither son stayed to assume Duncan's throne? So the two sons are really freaked out and scared, right? So that's why they ran away. But to everyone else, it looks like, are they guilty? Did they kill their father? And that's why they're running away? Which is not the case, right? We know that. But now who's going to be king if both of his sons ran away? A council of thanes met to name a new king. It did not take them long to decide. Duncan's crown was soon placed upon Macbeth's head. Now Macbeth and Lady Macbeth were king and queen of Scotland. The witch's prophecy had come true. Okay, so I will draw a crown on their heads now. What color did I use? I used purple. Okay. King and queen. Alright. So now you get the crown. And, oh no, yours will have to be small, Lady Macbeth, so that I don't cover the title. Alrighty. So, does that mean... Should I erase this? Should I put King of Scotland? Does that mean he loses his other titles? I'm not sure. Let's hold off for now. Let's see if King of Scotland makes him lose other titles. Okay, so the witch's prophecy had come true. But Macbeth did not revel in his success. He was racked with suspicion and mistrust. He had murdered Duncan to gain the throne. What was to stop some other ambitious thane from trying the same evil deed? So now, since he killed King Duncan, he's realizing, that's awesome that I'm king, but someone else could just come and kill me and become king now. So he's feeling, he feels as though he's lost trust in everyone, right? Worse, Macbeth brooded over the witch's words to his friend and fellow general Banquo. They hailed him father to a line of kings, no son of mine succeeding, Macbeth said bitterly. Macbeth and his wife had no children, and the witches had said nothing about their heirs. So he's saying, wait, so what did the witches say? So they're saying, so remember the witches told Banquo, they said, "Hail Banquo, lesser than Macbeth and greater." So which is an oxymoron, right? They're saying he's lesser but also greater than Macbeth. And they're also saying not so happy and yet much happier, which is again another oxymoron. And they're saying that thou shalt father kings, though you yourself be none. So they're saying, Banquo, you are not a king, you will not be a king, but your sons will be kings. So Macbeth is now worried, well, Banquo, I know, will not become king, but his sons might become king, or kings. And Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have no children. So someone else would have to take his throne to become king, right? He will not, like, once Macbeth dies, since he doesn't have children to become king after him, someone else would have to step up. So they hailed him father to a line of kings, no son of mine succeeding. So that's what Macbeth means by that. Macbeth and his wife had no children, and the witches had said nothing about their heirs. "If it be so, for Banquo's children have I defied my soul," Macbeth raged. "For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered." So he's realizing that he defiled his soul. He killed someone, which is tearing him apart. And he did it for Banquo's children, because he's now worried that Banquo's children will come and take over and become king, right? Macbeth resolved to take fate into his own hands once more, but this time he would work not to fulfill the witches' prophecies, but to defy them. So what that means is, at first he wanted the witches' prophecies to come true, right? He wanted to become Thane of Cawdor, and he wanted to become King of Scotland. But now he doesn't want Banquo's children to become king, because that means he would lose his title as king. So he's going to try and change the prophecies, which, good luck with that. We'll see what happens. The newly crowned king arranged a royal banquet and invited all of Scotland's highest-ranking nobles. They celebrated his ascension to the throne. But Macbeth had another, darker purpose. The feast brought Banquo and his beloved only son, Fleance, into Macbeth's reach. As they approached the castle, Macbeth sent assassins to greet them. Banquo fell beneath their murderous blades, but in the confusion, Fleance escaped. Oh my gosh, he just killed Banquo! The henchman broke the news to Macbeth as his banquet began. His heart began to pound. With Fleance safe, the witch's prophecy could still come true. Macbeth tried to shake his unease. After all, Fleance was young. There was still time to take care of him, the king reassured himself. Okay, but that means Banquo's dead, right? Yeah, Banquo fell beneath the murderous blades. Okay, so Banquo's dead, guys. Oh, sorry, Banquo. Alright. This is pretty sad already. We'll stop in a minute, I think. Alright. Macbeth strode to the banquet table, which was full of exuberant noblemen. He raised a goblet and smiled at each man in turn. "Were the blessed person of our Banquo present," he said, "here would we have all our countries honored." Suddenly, Macbeth's goblet tumbled from his hand. He stared down the long table. At its head sat a ghastly apparition crowned with blood. Banquo's ghost. So Macbeth is seeing things again. "Thou canst not say I did it!" Macbeth shouted at the crimson-haired ghost. Red-haired ghost! Aw, man. Wait, just kidding. Banquo should have had red hair. Oh well. "Do not shake thy gory locks at me." Oh, just kidding. Maybe his hair is red because it's blood. Anyway. So Macbeth is saying, to the ghost, right, which is not actually there. He's saying, you can't say that I did it, meaning you can't blame me for killing you. Which is true, he can't because he's dead. But, let's see. So the nobles began to rise. His Highness is not well, they murmured, for they saw nothing. Lady Macbeth rushed to her husband's side. Sit, worthy friend, she said. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. The fit is momentary. If you note him, you shall offend him. Feed, and regard him not. So the queen, Lady Macbeth, is saying, oh, just ignore him. He's been like this since he was a kid. You know, sometimes he'll just say things, and if you draw attention to it, then he'll just feel bad about it. So just pretend you don't see anything. And she told them to just keep eating. Okay? So, obviously that's not true, right? He saw a ghost. So, we will continue in the next video. Bye, guys.